Let's discuss the basics of stamping. Today I'm going to stamp a snowflake like I have on this finger, on my other hand. But let's talk about supplies. I'll show you how to do it. We'll keep it as simple as we can. This is the very basics of stamping. Things that you need are tape. I like this frog tape purely because I have it. I used a couple different widths. I actually like the really thick one better. Use tape. That's my first thing that you need. Next thing are stamping plates, obviously. You can't stamp if you don't have stamping plates. We can talk about different types of stamping plates off of different brands and the advantages, but we'll just kind of go. Plates come in all sizes, all shapes. They come with all sorts of patterns. Most of them come with some sort of protective cover like this one has. When you first get it, take it off and you'll be able to use your stamp. Some of them have a backing, so the metal plate is right here and then this has a white backing. That's often used so that you don't scratch yourself and hurt yourself. Some of these plates can be really sharp. They come in all sizes. These are pretty big plates. This is what it looks like when you take the plastic protective coating off. And then these are etched. I have all sorts of brands. This one's a Bundle Monster. I have no idea where some of these came from. I've had them forever. So you've got plates in all sorts of shapes and sizes. And these plates have been made, this is not a new thing. They've been made since way before 2008. When I think of things in my life, I use 2008 as a marker. Either it happened before 2008 or it happened after. So I have tons and tons. This is where I store all my plates at, except for the big ones. The big ones get stored separately. We have all sorts of different types of plates. Here's a Christmas one that's got different decorations. I've got leaves. These have sharp edges, so you just have to be careful. The Christmas one doesn't, but the other ones do. And you can have small plates. The blue protective coating just means I haven't used them yet. And you've got small different plates. You have plates that have different types of layers to them. Those ones, I'll show you this one in just a second. So these are my small plates and I've got tons of them. And then you have some that have layers. And these layers you will put on in different orders, and you could do each different layer in a different color to create things. These ones are different birds. So those different plates, you have, again, more like the metal ones that I have shown earlier. But you have stamping plates. I have yet to find a bad quality stamping plate, and I have bought my stamping plates. I don't know where that one is. I have bought them from Walmart. I have bought them online with free bundles. I have bought them from Mexico. I have bought them, oh, these ones are, crap, it's a really popular brand. I don't have any nail polish. These ones are from China, these white ones. But they're really pretty, different flowers and poppies. The very first one I ever got, this was before 2008, it was this round stamp. And this company, it's called Conad Nail. They still have nail polishes. I'm sure they still have plates. But I remember I was living in Chicago and this stinking plate was $15 way back then. Now they're much cheaper. You can get them for $5, $10 for much more detailed. But it's just really simple. It has like some lips that say "Kiss Me" and a couple really basic designs. And bought this whole kit, and I had blue nail polish and white nail polish and a metal scraper and this whole other. The stamper was pink. Anyway. So you have different plates that you can choose, explore different brands, try them out. Like I said, I have yet to find a brand. Born Pretty, that's who these are. I have yet to find a brand that I don't think the stamping plates work just fine. Now, depending on how detailed your stamp is or your etched image is, sometimes you have to use a little bit extra supplies. Okay, so the next thing you need is stamping polish. Usually they are smaller bottles. You can use older polish, but a new thin polish isn't going to work. It needs to be thick. Who's pulling up in front of my house? I don't know that car. This one's by Clear Jelly Stampers. This is the one we're going to use today. It's number 2. It's white. Then you need a stamp. The stamps come in all shapes, all sizes, but they have some common elements. So this stamp is a pretty large stamp. The thing that I like about most of my stamps is that they're clear. This comes with an extra plate. But one thing I like about most stamping plates, most stampers these days, is that you can see through them. So you can see where you're placing. So if my image was on here, I could see it. They have usually a jelly-like sticky surface. Sometimes they're more firm than others, sometimes they're more gushy, but in general they're about the same. They have lids. They come in different sizes. They come in different shapes. This one is from Bundle Monster. It came with a free kit. Not a free kit, you pay shipping, but look for those types of discounts as well. But this one is two-sided. It has two sides. The thing I don't really love about it is that I can see it on the camera, but it's a lot more difficult to see compared to the other one to try to get the image to work. You have to use it off the side, but it's smaller. It's a little bit more firm than this one, which was by Clear Jelly Stampers. Then you can have round ones. Again, you can see through it, easier to see. This one's a little bit more gushy. No, it's not. It's a little bit more firm. This one also came with a free kit or a discounted kit or a clearance kit of some sort, but I like it. And then this one came from Walmart. It's Pooing, which is, if you wanted to start with a kit and you only had a couple dollars, you could go to Walmart, pick up a Pooing kit. This one's not bad. You can see through it. It works. And it's gooey. So you need those, you need this. An optional thing that you can have is liquid latex. You can buy, I'm trying to find, I don't have any specific brands sitting around, but liquid latex comes in a bottle. They'll look different ways. This one is a self-created, reused bottle off of a bigger thing of liquid latex. But liquid latex, it's really nice. I'll show you how to use that. And a top coat. It is very important to have a top coat that is smudge free. You can try to use a regular quick dry top coat after you put your stamped image on, but I can tell you, especially as a beginner, it's going to bleed, it's going to run. A lot of people will tell you can float a top coat, which means just put it really thick on your nail and make sure that you don't touch the image below. I suck at it. Just be honest, I suck at it. There is another secret. You can use hairspray. But if you can get it, you're going to want a no smudge top coat. This one's by Bundle Monster. I love it. Bundle Monster is also named Maniology. You can, I think they're probably going to be all alcohol based, these no dry or these no smudge top coats. They take a little bit longer to dry, not much. Those, and then you've always got pads. I have isopropyl alcohol just because I always like to use that to dry out my skin like nobody's business. A little bit of acetone. I'm using a gel base nail polish. You can use regular nail polish. There's the advantage of using a gel, and you would put it on just as if you were done with it. You'll put your base color on, you'll put your color, you'll put your top coat, wipe it off if you need to wipe it off, bada bing, done. Then when you stamp, my nails look so bad, sorry guys, but then when you stamp, if you have a mistake, you can take it off easily with acetone. If you use regular nail polish and you stamp and you don't like the way that it looks, you will have to redo that whole nail in order to fix it. But they both work just fine. I usually use regular polish, but today I put gel just because I'm in love with this glittery Dorothy's shoe color that we have. If you need any questions about the color that is, you can watch my other video. I have an orange stick just in case I need it. More pads. If there's anything else I need. Oh, and then cuticle oil. This is by Cuticle Candy, but any decent quality cuticle oil will work. This one's cotton candy, which I'm almost finished with, and then I can recycle the bottle, make my own. I have other brands too, I just don't know where they're at right now. It doesn't really matter. Okay. Oh, and a scraper. I actually think the scraper is probably one of the most important things to actually have a decent quality on. And you're going to laugh. I have scrapers. I have this scraper. I have this scraper. And my favorite one right here is an old business card. Not even a business card. It was like a slogan card from a job that I had before. But since I'm not trying to show everybody where I worked before, we'll keep that away. Scrapers are going to be your most important tool to make sure that you're comfortable with. I like a good firm tool. I started stamping with a metal tool, but I like a decent tool. Pooing still does sell that metal scraper, by the way. This one came with, I have this giant stamper. It's huge. And this one came with it. I'm not the biggest fan of it. It's super flexible, but I like something a little bit more rough. And you'll have to figure out what you like and experiment. But honestly, a really heavy duty business card, like not the cheap ones, but a really heavy duty business card, maybe a waterproof playing card, like a Vegas card or something that's got a pretty decent texture to it would work. You just need to figure out what you like, but it is important to have some sort of scraping card. Then the next thing that is important is to have everything ready before you start stamping. I'm going to use this stamp today. It's my favorite. I'm going to tear it apart. And I like to just have everything laid out in a position that's easy to get. I'm going to put some of this stuff away so that we don't have to... Hey, you guys do not need to fight. I've got the dogs out today, so sorry if they start being buttheads. We're going to get everything dead out of the way. So my polish, my plate. Where did the plate go? Oops. I think I put it away. Look at me being so efficient. Not there. Oh, this thing's heavy. I have way too many stamps. I think it's this one right there. Nope. Oh, it is that one. Okay. Using a stamp. It's a frozen stamp. So we've got Elsa and Anna and Olaf and all the wonderful stamping people. But I'm using it because I like the snowflakes that are on it. Okay, so we have our stamping plate, we have our stamp, we have our polish, we have our scraper, we have our tape. First thing to do is to get your tape out, and I'm going to use this lid just to set my tape. We have our polish. Okay. Technically, the first thing that we need to do is get out our liquid latex. And it's just a barrier. If you don't want to do it, you don't have to. I'm going to be painting this nail tonight. So what I'm going to do is just, I learned a secret since I'm horrible at applying things. Make sure you apply the liquid latex. For me, it's the edges. I've got weird shaped nails. I'm actually over applying it. If you can tell, it's on my nail. That's okay. I'll show you what we're going to do. And it's time to replace my latex, it looks like. There are lots of brands that sell liquid latex. Experiment with what you like. Some people like to use Elmer's glue. It doesn't seem to come off and it's not as visible. I like this one because it's bright. So I'm going to apply my liquid latex, make sure that I get in all the crevices. I physically move my nail to make sure that, remove the skin around my nail because it's kind of puffy, to make sure that I get in there. And then, because I did get on my nail, I'm going to take my orange stick. I'm just going to go around the edges and push the nail, or push the latex back. And really, I don't use an orange stick. But today we will. I usually have a little dotting tool and I'll just use that, but this will work fine. And I'm just going to push it back and out of my way. It's kind of better once it dries just a little bit because it pushes a little bit better. But I'm just going to push it off my nail. That's all I'm doing. Simple. Doesn't have to look pretty. All it is a barrier, and now it's over there. It's just a barrier to make sure that my polish doesn't get on my skin, make it a little bit easier for me for cleanup. So that's all I'm going to do. I'm going to let that dry. While it's drying, I'm going to get my stamp ready. Because I've been touching it, you want your stamp clean. Do not take acetone to your stamp. Do not take soap to your stamp. There's no reason to take any chemicals to your stamp. The easiest thing to do is get a piece of tape out. And I said, yeah, this is your stamp. And just clean it up with tape. And we're going to reuse this tape over and over again, so I just set it over here for now. Make sure I can use it. Stamp's clean, set it aside. Next thing I'm going to clean is my plate. Take some acetone. clean your plate. I always clean it before I use it and after I use it, but it looks better after you use it. So you want to use a lint-free, what are these called? Lint-free pad to clean it off. Something that if these aren't working or you can't find something like this, works really well are gun patches. The bulk patches that they use from gunner companies. They are lint-free, they are super thin and very, very cheap. They don't hold as much liquid as these other ones, and sometimes they can make a mess if you're cleaning up a lot of stuff, but they're super lint-free, they're super cheap, and they're easily available if you live out in the country near gun shops. Okay, so my plate's clean, my stamp is clean, I have my polish, I have my scraper. The one thing I do is I often will take my acetone pad that I use to clean off my plate, and I will set it aside because I like to clean off my scraper as soon as I can. And I say that and there's crap all over my scraper. It's been used often, but it's pretty simple. I just kind of rub it off the sides just to make sure stuff's off of it. Doesn't have to be perfect. When it's dry, it's fine. So there's my scraper. Now we're going to get to work. So the thing is that as soon as you start scraping, you need to work quick. The quicker that we work, the better we can get things. And really when I mean quick, I'm just saying about to getting it onto the stamp. We need to get it onto the stamp quickly. When I scrape at a 45-degree angle, and I like to scrape twice. Sometimes I'll scrape 3 times, but generally I just scrape twice. I really like this little snowflake right here. It matches, it is the one that I used over here. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and use it. So I like this one. I try not to play, I'm putting my fingers all over it. I try not to put my fingers all over the area because I want to keep the oils out. The other thing that I will do, I hadn't thought about it, is because I've worked all day and my nails aren't clean, I will go ahead and just do a quick swipe with acetone or with alcohol on top. If you have just a nail polish with a quick dry top coat, make sure that it's dry, and then I will hit it if it's been a day or two. I'll go ahead and use some isopropyl alcohol and I'll just wipe down the surface. But just wipe it down just to make sure that the oils are gone. Okay. There's a 50%, a little bit less than 50% rule when it comes to stamping. You only need to cover half of your image. There's no need to cover more. If you cover less than that, sometimes you're going to have a hard time getting an image to transfer. So I just cover the bottom of the image that I want to use. I'm going to have this go over it. We'll get other parts of, or other images, it's no big deal. Just make sure you have it. We're going to go swipe, swipe, stamp. So stamp is ready. We're going to swipe it. We're going to swipe it again because I don't like the way that that looks. Maybe a third time. Okay, that looks like it's okay. Stamp. When I stamp by roll, I pick up my image. And there it is. So we're missing this edge. And that's partially my fault because I didn't, when I swiped, I didn't make sure that it got over the edge. We have extra stuff on here. We have some Olaf going on here. We have some things I don't want. That's super easy to deal with. I'm okay with the edge of this stamp not being there because I'll just make the image like I did here, kind of show off the side of my finger. To get rid of the things that we don't want, it's easier to do it now. So I just take my tape and I just pull it right off. I don't want this right there. I just pull it right off with my tape. I'm not putting much pressure on it. You can put more pressure if you want it more detailed. You can get a smaller one. That's all you need to do. So here's my image. And then on this finger I have it towards the top by my middle finger. So I'm going to do the same thing here, towards the top by my middle finger. I'm just going to make sure that that little piece of snowflake that I don't want or that's been broken isn't there. So I'm just going to line it up. So you can see how I'm lining it up. Sorry, I'm getting text messages. And I'm going to see exactly where I want to place it. I'm trying to make it so you can see it too. Exactly where I want to place it, and then I just push straight down. Once it's completely down, like I'm putting serious pressure, you can see serious pressure, then I'm just going to go ahead and rock it off. Paying attention, if I need to stop and kind of rock back and forth, I can. And that's it. That's as simple as it is. You can use your finger at this time and just push it down if anything has lifted. I'm going to go ahead and do this again with another small image on here so that we can have a second like I had done on this nail. so that we have a second image right there. So I'm just going to grab another one. I have a really small snowflake up here that I'm going to go ahead and use. So the steps are simple again. Get everything ready. I'm going to go ahead, clean my stamp off. Always do that. It helps get rid of the oils. If I had any polish up here, I would clean my whole plate off and then I would reapply the polish. You don't, if I wanted to reuse this image, I need to clean the plate before I reuse before I restamp it. The other thing is when you are done, make sure that you clean off your plate before you put it away. So we're going to grab our polish again. I'm going to go ahead and use this itty bitty teeny tiny little one right here. And there's no way I can only cover this one halfway. So it's just going to be kind of over full, but that's okay. We're just going to scrape it off. I forgot. You can let it sit when the polish is just sitting on your half image. You can let it sit for a second. Don't let it sit forever. But I like to make sure my stamper is clean, especially of any wet polish. And if I don't like what's on the edge of it, I'll just go to the other side. It's no big deal. So we're going to scrape, scrape, pick up, apply. So scrape, scrape, pick up. That one did not turn out very well, and that's okay. You see how it turned out? Did not turn out very well. So we could simply choose, I think we're going to do that. We're just going to take it off and start over. No big deal. Off it comes. Look at that, all gone. We're going to clean our plate. My pad is a little bit dry. Squirt, squirt. Clean our plate. It always looks better the second time you clean it, so it's going to look all smeared, but that's okay. No big deal. We're going to go ahead and put our polish where we wanted it again. My stamp is clean. My scraper is now ready. Put my polish away because I don't need it to knock over. Put my tape over here. Scrape, scrape. Pick up, apply. Come on. That's great. Okay. Scrape, scrape. Looks much better. Pick up with a rolling motion. And it looks better. We're going to use this one right here. Still isn't perfect. I'm not perfect, so I'm okay with that. And we only need a little bit of this one. You know what? I really only need half of one, so I'm just going to use half of that guy right there. We're going to take the tape, everything that I don't want to show up on my fingers. We're going to pull up, side. Still trying to decide between the two. I don't have a lot of space on my nail bed, so we're just going to use, like, I'm just barely going to use it. Okay. So I'm going to position it where I like it. And all I need is just a little bit of it. So we're going to go, right there's where I like it. Push straight down. Once I'm down and it's heavily applied, I'm going to go ahead and rock. Take it off. There we go. All done. I'm going to go ahead and use, and if you can see with the white polish that has shown up on edges, I'm going to push it down with my finger because I did not realize how weird it looks. And the quicker that you can go ahead and get your liquid latex off, the better it is. A lot of people like to use tweezers. I am just going to go ahead and pull it up. Easy peasy. And make sure everything's pushed down, and then we're going to go ahead and use that no smudge top coat and be done. If I can get it to open. All right. No smudge top coat. Don't overdo it. Just because it's a no smudge top coat does not mean that if you go over it too many times that it still won't smear. It will smear if you keep doing it too often. There we go. Just a thin coat. Wipe. Wipe. And wipe. There we go. Gonna let it dry. Maybe takes a minute or so. While it's drying, I like to clean up my mess. I'm gonna use the gun pad this time just because we can. Be careful not to get your newly done manicure. I have put gloves on before or after everything's completely dry to clean it all up. Don't judge me, I'm human. And then we're just gonna go ahead and clean it all off. This one is a pretty sticky, pretty sharp-edged plate. What are you doing, Lucy? So some people will say you can go over it with a piece of sandpaper. I think that'll probably ruin the image. But clean it up. Doesn't have to be perfect because I'm going to clean it before I use it again. But I like to get the stuff off. Clean off my plate and voila. Well, you're done. Here is your finished nail. Sorry, still learning. There we go. There's your finished nail. How pretty with these glittery. And if you watched my previous video and you saw all the red left over, see how it's kind of just come off? This is sore. But see how it's come off? So maybe I had to deal with a little bit of a sacrifice of doing a home-kept manicure from a non-professional person. But after a day of having kind of weird-looking nails, that stuff comes right off as your skin flakes. The other thing that you're going to want to do is apply cuticle oil. You probably should do this often. It's winter right now, so it's super dry in Utah. Just apply it on your skin. I will wait until my nails are dry, so I'm going to wait till that other nail's dry and then just rub it in. This one smells awesome. Look into your own idea of what you think with cuticle oil. Very smart idea since you're using alcohols. But there you go. All done. Thank you guys for watching.